I have never done a video like this in my life. A word to the wise, you guys are going to be shocked. Let's get started. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing here?
The video is called Bashing Your New BMW because I was going to get started.
This is a 97 BMW M3.
It's had better days.
It has had better days. We're actually going to take a look at that today. We're not going to bash it, at least not yet. Why don't you put that away, Mrs. Wizard?
Fine, but you know, I've had one hell of a school year this year with COVID and kids not having discipline for a year and a half. I really could get some stress relief out with this.
Well, let's take a look at it first.
Whatever.
So many of you watch Hoovie's Garage. You've actually seen this car on a recent video he did. He owed me some money in the shop, and we had an agreement where he would just pay that debt off by giving me this 97 BMW M3. Hoovie had actually used this for some other filming projects he had and really didn't have any use for it. It's really, really bad. We're going to show you guys around it, underneath, all things like we always do, but it's so shocking how bad this thing is. So without further ado, let's at least take a look around it and see what it looks like. So as you can see, one of the kidneys are missing. I guess you call it the kidney grill or whatever. As Hoovie was driving this car up to the shop to deliver it to me, it was literally dropping pieces and parts all over the ground, all the way here. Chunks and pieces everywhere. That's one of the things that were lost. It has some nice M3 wheels on it. I think that will be one of the very few things that's actually decent about this car. You can see the molding starting to come loose.
Or just missing altogether.
Yep, there's some pieces missing along the driver's door there. The glass, I guess, is okay. There's a lot of, you can see molding and stuff inside just falling down.
So, Wizard, was it trying to be a shark?
Yeah, these little diffuser things, one of them is missing. We can see that the bumper cover on the rear is starting to come off. It's actually been something's been rubbing on the tire there. And as we come around, here's our wonderful muffler. Tyler says on his way up here that thing was just bouncing all over the place. There's a clamp they use to hold it up, I guess. Some sort of plumber's tape is what they call it. Look at this, guys. This is just the beginning. The wing is lost its gloss. Completely flat now. Take a look inside of here. Pieces and parts of who knows what laying all over the place.
A few things disconnected. We don't need those.
No. It's pretty brown and rusty down in the bottom of the spare tire well down there.
But they do have a Michelin spare tire that looks pretty decent.
Yeah?
It might be worth something.
Maybe it will be. Pretty junky in there. Here's a bunch of rust here. Let's take a look at what's going on under here. Nothing.
Oh.
All the tools are gone. That doesn't surprise me on a BMW. It takes every tool in the world to try to keep the things afloat, keep them running.
But it would have been nice to have them, you know, on the car when it does leave you stranded.
Yeah, it would have been nice. We'll move down this side. More rust. And we have, I don't know, they tried to glue some of this with some Elmer's glue or something. I'm not sure what happened there. It does have a few little scrapes and dings here on this door. The molding is pretty decently intact on this side. Big old dent there. The top of the hood is completely oxidized. The BMW roundel is, half of it's gone, it's missing. The exterior, it does look junky, it looks pretty bad, but that's only the tip of the iceberg on this car. I don't have to pop the hood. It pretty much just stays popped all the time. I'm surprised it didn't fly up on Tyler. One of the hood struts is missing, and they only have one in place. I don't even think it goes to this car. It won't even let you open the hood all the way. So I'll hold it up while you guys take a look. The engine does run. It's missing on one cylinder.
Is that its cold air intake?
No, that's like for the alternator or something.
Oh,
a duct work for the alternator.
Okay.
There's some pieces of shroud and different things missing here.
I was being hopeful there.
Yeah, it does have some aftermarket coilovers on it. That's why it sits a little low, I think. There's some quite disastrous things under the hood, but it's not as bad as you guys are going to see yet. So I'll attempt to close the hood. Oh well. Now it's time for Mrs. Wizard to give you guys a tour of the beautiful interior. Just wait, guys. Let's take a look.
Okay, so ladies and gents, this is definitely going to be an interesting interior review. As you notice, I was going to go ahead and, get the car going a little bit here, just to get an auxiliary mode. But, if you're kind of halfway in, it just sits there and spins and spins. But if you do push it in the rest of the way, we can turn it on a little bit. Okay, so I was hoping that binging was going to stop, but it doesn't. It just keeps going and going. So I'll do this very quickly. It does have 148,850 miles on it. But let's unplug that. And it gave one extra bing even though the key was in my hand. So that's an extra addition here. Otherwise, when we start looking, it seems a little okay. Got some crud here on the steering wheel. And the dash actually is looking pretty good. No major cracks or anything. But as we kind of move down and around, like that's kind of a little extra loose over there. Stereo seems to be okay. As we move to the gear shifter, this is the Terminator edition with some liquid metal going on in there. I'm not sure exactly how that would have happened, but you better know your shift pattern or get the right angle so you can see it. But from normal driving view, you can't see your shift pattern, but not that it's a rocket science to know which gears are where, but okay. Otherwise, we do have some lovely M3 floor mats, a few extra parts and pieces down there as well. Looks like we had some musical selections going over there. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cypress Hill, and Jimi Hendrix. They definitely had an eclectic mix of music. Otherwise, the hard plastic over there, looking good. Leather's actually in decent shape. It does have a nice little part here we can adjust for our legs. They did leave a beverage there. I promise you, those of you who have been with Car Wizard for a long time, he is not going to be tasting that. As we slide to the back seat, there's a floor mat there, but otherwise it's looking good. Does have some, some of the color striping that's characteristic to the M3, but again, there is that weather stripping hanging down, so that could be put back up, I guess. It does look like the back deck has faded to a lovely lavender-ish color, so obviously that's a bit special. Amazingly, headliner's looking pretty good. Few, marks from crud, but that's about it. I was wondering for a second why the light is still on in here, and that's because the door is a little heavy and not aligned well. And you really have to slam the crap out of it to actually, close it. We can see there's some separating kind of going on in here. Not looking so great. Oh, there we go. Kind of maybe just pushed out a little bit there because all the slamming that has to be done on it. So, otherwise, then looks like about 50 cents here the Wizard's got in the center section here. He's up at least that much on his purchase. So let's go see what's underneath, because I've heard there's some scary stuff happening down below.
So just as Mrs. Wizard saw in the interior, there was a Cypress heel tape, and that goes right along with the BMW mantra. Whoever tries to own and maintain an old BMW is insane in the membrane. It's definitely one of their songs, and that definitely goes right along with that. You guys are going to be shocked what we find under here. Let's get started on the underneath.
But Car Wizard, what is in your hand?
This is my inspection tool.
Wow, that's impressive. Never seen that wand before.
We might see it later. So the radiator is actually dry, which is rare for a BMW. There's an oil leak, which isn't surprising for a BMW. But look at this rust, guys. This is only the beginning of it.
I feel like we're at the Titanic.
Look at these brake lines. Very, very dangerous. Take a look at these brakes here. They're about half gone. But very heavily, heavily rusted.
What's going on over here?
I have no idea. It looks like HID light module or something just hanging. This whole piece is busted and missing. Even the clamps that hold the sway bar links are getting crispy. Oof. Take a look at this side. Yep, that one's got some play to it. There's a whole bunch of junk missing in there, stuff. It looks really, really bad. You can see that that's melted from rubbing on the tire. I can already see, we haven't looked underneath the entire car yet, and I can already see thousands and thousands of dollars of repairs on this thing.
But the coilover shocks look to be in really good condition.
Yeah, and the real thing's crazy is who would put such nice BC Racing coilovers on such a piece of crap car? I mean, this car is bombed out. It's junk. I'll prove it here in a minute. Here's our infamous BMW valve cover gaskets. And all that crusty rust.
Hey, you're showering that down on me.
Okay, junky, junky, junky. As we go to the transmission, Tyler says that it doesn't, something's wrong with the synchros or something's going on with the shifting. Here's some insulation that's come down. It's rubbing right on the drive shaft. Here's the fuel filter with some rust going on there.
And there's some lovely cracks on that flex disc.
Oh yeah, that flex disc is gone.
Oh yeah, look up there. Look how bad that is.
Whole chunks missing out of it.
Oof.
Oof, he's right. Here we have wiring just hanging on the exhaust, melting. Here's our center support bearing. It looks like it's about to literally collapse from rust. Here's our hanging exhaust.
I never thought that the rubber is doing so much better than so many other parts on here.
Look at these fuel lines. It's literally a fire hazard. Just waiting to spray fuel all over the place. Oh my goodness. That goes into the car.
Oh yeah, and I can tell you how that happened. I guarantee that weather stripping up there has been leaking water in, because we are right about that spot.
Look, that's the body structure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And this is what's holding it up. I better not.
Don't be doing that.
I'll stay away from that.
Please.
Holy cow. Starting to do it over here as well. Ugh. Here's our differential support that also looks like it's about to collapse, like it's been in the bottom of an ocean. Oh wow, even where the supports go to the body, look at that, guys. It's just crumbling. And look at these back brakes. They look like they've been in the bottom of the ocean as well. Same thing over here. It's actually nothing loose on it. It looks really, really bad. Let's try this out here. It's just, the metal is just coming off in sheets. They were holding up the exhaust with plumber's tape up in here somewhere, because that's a authorized BMW fix right there. This here's been impacted and melted from the exhaust, just swinging wildly in the back. And it's not been fixed because everyone that's had it before, even Tyler and even before him, just doesn't care about this car. Who cares, you know? There's a lug nut missing here.
Yeah, you only need 4, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
This is 2016 tires. They're way overdue.
That explains the cracking over here.
Yeah, they've been doing burnouts with these old junky tires. So before we get killed, Mrs. Wizard, from it literally the structure of this car collapsing on us, let's get it back on the ground.
Yes, please do.
So one of the reasons Hoovie dumped this car on me is because, as we just seen, it is unsafe to drive. It is unsafe at any speed, at any rate, at any cost. Every steel line, every piece of everything on here is rusted and dangerous. It's going to catch on fire and kill you, or the brakes are going to give out and it's going to kill you. If you try to undo some of the structure to rebuild it, it's going to crumble and break on you. There is no fixing this car. This thing is completely whacked out and destroyed. And I mentioned on the Hoovies video that you guys saw, I had a special surprise for this car, and we really do have some really good things in store for them. Hey, what are you doing?
Well, this is how we're going to fix this BMW.
That's how we're going to fix this one?
This one, yes. This one, this is the only repair for it. Stress relief.
That sounds like a good plan to me. Where's the other hammer?
Oh, it's right there. I got it ready for you.
Okay.
I got my protection on, you got yours on, let's have at it.
Yep.
Whoa! You still responded to me! Get me closer!
The next one.
There we go.
Yep.
I think we need to do another walk around.
Whew, that was quite a workout, Mrs. Wizard.
It was. That was fun.
I
I don't think it came in this way.
No, but it'll be going out this way. This car is only good for one thing, and that's the junkyard. I will never give this car to someone to try and get it back on the road, because someone's going to die. This car is not meant to be back on the road, and we have made it now not able to be back on the road. So speaking of this car right here.
Which car?
Which one? Oh, this one right here. That one. What you just seen is tragic. It also can be viewed as disastrous. But you have to understand, like we just saw, this car is useless. But everything we have just bashed is common 3 Series parts. We haven't bashed anything special. So this car is going to Long Beach, who also works here. He's going to be parting out the wheels, the engine, the seats, the interior, things that can go on to help other M3s stay on the road longer. The time for this M3 is over. Even before we bashed it, it was over. Like I just mentioned, with the rust going on the bottom, someone's going to get killed. Just like the Subaru we did with Hoovie's Garage, where the frame was literally crumbling while we had it on the lift, you don't give that to somebody to put back on the road. You make it to where it's not going back on the road anymore. It was really refreshing, Mrs. Wizard, to hit a BMW. I hate BMWs. But I can see the value, and Long Beach talked about the coilovers, the springs, everything. He's got plans for those. So I'm glad we got to take some stress out on this, Mrs. Wizard. We both had a stressful month.
Yes, most definitely. This school year is going to kill me.
Goodbye, BMW M3. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're not going to use to fix this car, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, because For this one being bashed, there's hundreds and thousands of other cars more we're going to fix. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Thanks for watching.